The price got shorted for FRC in our live streaming, and we said once we break the $18, we're gonna have a huge selling pressure. And guess what? We plunged down from there almost 35%. We already been 20% down, so over the 50%. And then the price bought back around the $11.57. We're gonna discuss if there's another potential reversal and where's the support for FRC in the coming days. Next up, we got PACW, the same. This is another regional bank, went down from the $10. We have a potential squeeze, but the price went down. You know why? Because we have one stock that actually drove all the banking system with it, which is Credit Suisse. This one plunged down almost 52%, over the 50%. You see this gap? This is what happened. Boom, price went down until below the $1 and now around the 96. We're gonna discuss if there's a potential filling this gap in coming days. TNX bumped almost 12%. As we discussed it yesterday, I think, for our update. We said TNX will have a pump because we're already visiting an important support around the 45, and that's what happened. The price actually went higher and got rejected where? Around our resistance, the 59. We're going to discuss potential for a breakout for TNX for tomorrow or not. And finally, we got CDTX have potential FDA approval coming up. So there's a potential pump for this stock. And of course, we have the earnings today after hours. And you see it clearly that the price is continue to go higher slowly because the volume is still picking up. When the market opened, the volume was below the 1 million, now almost 4 million. So let's get right to it and discuss FRC. The price actually went down from here. When we opened the market, we were around the 19, price went down, tested $18, and guess what? Boom, we have a huge pump and we got halted. Then you know what happened? We halted down. That's why we suggest the price is not looking good for FRC once we plunge down and fill this gap that we did after the halting. That's why we exited from our trade, because we entered around this gap, around this candle. Then we have this red candle confirming that the trade is not good and the short seller is still shorting FRC. That's why the price went up and we didn't enter once again, because we confirmed another resistance, another 20. The price went down, and this is a confirmation for short for FRC when we broke the 18. Now the 15 is our resistance. There's a potential double bottom for FRC around the $11.57. So this area should hold like what we did before around the $18. So watch out for the $15. This will be a confirmation for FRC have a potential pump once again to go toward the squeeze area around the $18. For my opinion, the $18 is the most important level to break for FRC. So the first level to break to give us a confirmation for a first signal for squeeze is the $18. But the first signal for bullish momentum, at least for tomorrow, is breaking the 15. This would be a good reaction in power hour, breaking the 15 and holding above the 15 to go toward the 18. Then, of course, we got the 21. The most important level is the 24. But in the time being, we need to hold this level of support above the $11.57 and clearing the $15. Next up, we got PACW. This stock as well is a regional bank, the same as for the other stock we discussed, FRC. The price have potential to squeeze for this one. It was in better shape because we already gapped almost 20% for this stock. And then we hit with the resistance around the $11.58. We entered in this ascending channel. We formed kind of flag here. The price actually broke from it, and that's why we plunged down. Because we don't want to go back to the $8, because this is would be a potential break, like what happened for FRC for today. After we break the $18, we have a huge plunge until the 11. So we don't want to see this the same reaction happening for PACW. And the only way to have this reaction is holding above the $9.55. which is our current support to confirm that we've strength to break the $11.58, which is our current resistance. So let me just show you what I mean. We're gonna have accumulation here, holding above the $9.55 will confirm a retest for the $11.58, and here will happen the first squeeze to go toward the $13.84, which is should be our first profit taken. Then we got the $17.23. Exactly. Next up on our list, we got Credit Suisse. For my opinion, this stock is kind of the domino effect that drove banks today down, because we have a huge gap down, almost 55% for the stock. Then we bought back from the bottom around the 80 cents, and we went over the $1, but we got rejected around the $1.06. So for CS or Credit Suisse, if we want to have a potential trade for this one, we have two triggers. First, for the support, let me just put alert. I already forget to put alert on this one. The 89 should be the current support if we don't want to have another sell-off for the stock. And of course, the $1.06 should be our trigger for a potential pump for Credit Suisse to go toward the $1.40, which is our profit taken. Let me just lower it down here, $1.35, yeah. Next up, we got TENX. What's going on? So as we discussed it before, we have a double bottom, and the price reversed beautifully, almost 12%. Volume is not high for TNX, because last time when we pumped here, we were over 50 million, I think. Yeah, we did almost 70%. So for TNX, there's a potential pump once again to go toward the 89 once we break the 59. We already have a test, and see we have a pullback here. But this pullback is not heavy. Is not big one, so there's a potential break for the 59 in power hour, or tomorrow we might see a gap for the stock over the 59. If we have this reaction by tomorrow, gap over the 59, we're gonna do pre-market update for it, for a precise entry and the new support for it on our Discord and Patreon, of course. Next up, we got CDTX. This stock have potential FDA approval, so that's why we have kind of conjunction area happening in over the $1.40. You see here we have a huge accumulation. Last time when we pumped, we got a huge dump, but the price recovered fast and then hold above the $1.40. So what we should expect? Support, as we said, $1.40. The best case scenario is pumping over the $2 before even the news will come for the stock. After we clear this level, we're gonna have a huge pump toward the $3. Let me just check, yeah, 50%. To be realistic, and one day we might see a 50% for this one, even maybe a gap toward this profit taking. So we have to watch for the stock because it started to move. Let me just check the Tesla, because we got a test for our resistance and we got rejected right at it once again, the 186. That's why there's a potential for Tesla to break the 186, because we already bought back from our bottom that we discussed before above the 164. So this will confirm this is the bottom for Tesla for the incoming months, to go higher once again after we clear the 186 to test the 198, which is almost the 200, then the breakout zone around the 217. We're gonna do update, of course, if we visit the 217, because it's a resistance and breakout zone for Tesla. We're gonna do update for tomorrow for lots of stock that have potential to gap up, and of course we're gonna do live streaming around 2 p.m. CET or 9 a.m. Eastern time. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next update.